So it seems like the boozy genre has only grown or become more popular over the past few years, of course, with expressions of different drinks or spirits, whether that be rum or cognac or whiskey. We're seeing that a lot of brands want to express a particular drink or spirit, and we have many beautiful expressions of a variety of different drinks or cocktails, if you will. In today's episode, I'm going to be focusing on 10 best amazing boozy fragrances from 10 different brands. I'm excited to share this list with you, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you about these 10 boozy fragrances from 10 totally different brands, I let you know what that boozy note or accord is, how I think it personally smells, and I'll also try to touch upon a little bit of longevity and projection if I can. I want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to this channel, and I upload on a daily basis. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. I also want to mention that most of these fragrances can be sampled at scentsplit.com. They are a decanting service. They have amazing prices, great customer service, really fast shipping, and I've been using them for well over half a decade now. It's an amazing website, and they have some of the hardest to find niche and even designer fragrances on there as well. And most of the fragrances on this list, I think like 8 out of 10, are available on ScentSplit. So definitely make sure to check them out. And the first fragrance that I want to talk about is obviously one that I recently worked on. This one was co-created by Dominique Ropion and Julien Rasconet, two amazing perfumers, and it's called Raised Spirits by Navitus Perform. Now, this particular fragrance, it's going to be a little bit hard to get a sample. I believe you can sample it at Perfumology. I'm going to leave all of the necessary links down below. But this is caramel and dark rum. So it opens up with this pimento leaves, dark rum accord in the opening. There's caramel, brown sugar syrup. There is a lot of deliciousness happening in here. And then in the dry down, you do have some cashmere wood and tobacco. So it does sort of conclude in this smooth yet mysterious fashion. Raised Spirits is one that I spent such a long time working on, and I hope you love it. We also have a fragrance by Anser. There's a lot of great fragrances to check out from this brand, and ScentSplit carries a bunch of their fragrances, most of them. This one is actually called Blue Gin. So if you're a fan of that spicy, fizzy gin opening, that something like Bombay Sapphire, I think that's what it's called, right? The drink. This has that sort of vibe, and it has this freshness to it. There's a lot of citrus in here, and I just love that professionalism that it conveys, especially after you give it 10 to 20 minutes to dry down. It's not going to make you smell like a Lush or anything like that. There are a lot of fragrances out there that will make you smell like you were just sipping on a fine cocktail or a spirit or something. This is not one of them. This actually does smell quite clean and professional. Could be compared to Vodka on the Rocks by Killian Paris. So there is another sort of a boozy scent. But the next one I want to talk about is by Amouage, and it's called Overture. So this has cognac, and you'll see a few different cognacs on this list. One of them is actually quite sweet. This one is very spicy. I think there's like cardamom, cumin, coriander, saffron, like all the spices you can imagine on top of an ambery, incensey dry down. Overture is one of the darkest and longest lasting fragrances on this entire list. Raised Spirits will get you about 10 hours on your skin. Blue Gin will get you about 8. This one will get you 12 plus hours. And of course, I'm talking about Overture by Amouage. Of course, we have the brand Killian Paris, and this is called Apple Brandy on the Rocks. So it does have this fresh apple, pineapple, and bergamot type of an opening, but it does have that brandy accord underneath. And I always found even the original to be a little bit on the sweeter side of things. And I've always compared it to another fragrance from the brand called Single Malt. They're both really wonderful, spicy, cinnamony. This one has that sort of tart freshness with the bergamot and the pineapple. It's really well done. Now, in terms of another sort of a cognac fragrance, this one combines cognac with agarwood and a few other dark ingredients, of course, by Electimus London. It's called Amber Aquilaria. Now, of course, Aquilaria is the species of agarwood. So oud trees come from the Aquilaria species, and this one is really dark, really heavy, very tenacious. This one will also get you 10 to 12 plus hours. Apple Brandy on the Rocks is probably going to get you about 7 or 8 hours. It's probably the weakest fragrance on this entire list so far, but it's about the smell for me personally. personally, and it smells amazing. Amber Acularia, very long lasting, very boozy, almost kind of has like this cherry-like vibe in the opening. If you try it yourself, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We also have a 2022 release. This one by Frapin and Company is called 1270 Extreme. Now, the original 1270 beautiful fragrance composed by Sidonie Lancashire has that sort of plum, cognac, dried fruit accord. This one has pineapple. It also has this dried fruit vibe. It actually smells very similar to the original. So even though this one was composed by Jerome Epinet and it has a very different note breakdown, it actually does smell like 90% similar to the original. So I found that to be quite interesting. Amazing scent. So now let's veer away a little bit from the cognacs. I almost thought of including Creation E by Navitus Perform. Perhaps if I do a part 2, I'll probably throw that in the mix. We have Side Effect by Navitus Perform. This fragrance has rum, very much like Ray Spirits, but this one has the vanilla, the saffron, which kind of gives it like this leathery thing in the dry down. There's also tonka bean and hedione. So the hedione molecule, very diffusive. It activates the pleasure centers of the brain. Beautiful fragrance from the brand. And then of course we have another rum fragrance, this one with incense, resins, and coconut. This is absolutely stunning, by Nishane, or as I've been corrected, Nishane. This one is called Fan Your Flames. Beautiful fragrance with the coconut. It smells tropical yet dark and boozy. If you like fragrances like Herod by Parfum de Marly, you have to try Fan Your Flames. It is absolutely worth your time. Fantastic composition. It's been out for many years, so I'm very impressed with the quality and just how well it's standing up, considering the fact that a lot of expressions of this genre have been done over the past few years, yet I still find myself going back to Fan Your Flames. There's just something very special about it. Now, the next fragrance doesn't actually have an explicit boozy accord in it, but it does have wormwood, and wormwood is used in absinthe, right? So wormwood, or artemisia basically, is used in the spirit of absinthe, and this fragrance has that, and it's called Limewood by Blackliff. This is a really wonderful, unique, bright, woodsy, citrusy, very smooth and kind of boozy fragrance. I have a couple from the brand. I have Mr. Pink behind me here with that butyric cotton candy vibe that it gives off. It's a really genius scent. Limewood is incredibly unique, composed by Justin Federico. You have to try this stuff. He's done fragrances for Perfumology. He's done fragrances for a few other brands. Limewood is really amazing. And of course, this fragrance I've been so addicted to, and everybody has been praising it, and for good reason. I think it's a very special composition. I believe composed by Chris Maurice, and the caramel, the rum, the spices, that sweetness that's in here, a touch of patchouli in the dry down. This one by Zeroff is called Tony Iommi Monkey Special. What a beautiful, genius composition, so exquisitely well done. I am in love with Tony Iommi Monkey Special, and I just think it has a lot of really wonderful facets to it, from the booze, the spiciness of the rum, the caramel. And I was thinking of a lot of other Zeroff / Casa Moratti fragrances, and there are some sweet ones. There's Lira, there's Italica, and this one has the caramel in here too, but I'm very impressed by the brand's ability to take a note or a chord, aka caramel, that they've done so many times before, yet create something totally different from it. I'm very impressed by everything. The quality, the execution, even the presentation is gorgeous, and the collaboration is also really interesting as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. These are 10 of the best boozy fragrances from 10 different brands. Listen, I gotta be honest with you, brands like Killian and Frapin have been incredibly difficult to do, especially given the fact that Frapin is a cognac manufacturer, and of course we all know the legacy of Hennessy, right? So I could have picked Vodka on the Rocks or Straight to Heaven, which is another rum-based fragrance. There's so many from the brand that I could have picked. I just had to settle on one. Please forgive me. Don't be too mad at me. But anyway, this is your opportunity to tell me, what are some of your favorite boozy fragrances? Leave your comments down below. Always love reading it. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support me for free, all you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.